Good morning. Welcome back. Yes, how you guys all doing? We're getting toward the end here. So if you noticed last time we did 13.4, today we're doing 13.6. Well, what happened to 13.5? Well, all right, I'll get to the point. We have lost a lot of classes due to distance learning. So it's actually cut it almost in half. Because in a normal week, you would get between 3 and 4 classes a week. Actually, you would go 4, 4, 4, 3. Now it's 2, 3, 2, 3. So you're missing a bunch of classes. So there's some things that I would love to have done with you, but I have to take it out. It's not something that's essential. So what I did is I chose everything that was the most important, and that's the stuff we're going to cover as we get through the end of the year. So today, instead of us taking an equation and graphing it, we're going to take the graph or the points or a table, and then we're going to create the equation from there. Right? So now that we understand all the different concepts of y-intercept, slope, this is really quick and pretty basic and easy. So if you have a graph, there's two different ways that you can do it. First way is the faster way, the easier way. The second way is just another way. There's one way that can go between a graph and a table, or a graph and 2 points. The first way I'm going to show you is just a quick, fast, easy way. So if you remember, the equation is y equals mx plus b, and y and x always are variables in the equation. We have to find a value for m, and we have to find a value for b. Okay. So y equals, so remember it was the rise over the run. So the rise is the change in y. So how does this change? Well, you notice it goes down by 3. So to get from this point to this point, I go down 3, 1, 2, 3. So that will be negative 3. And I move to the right 2. Rise over run. So again, we pull the negatives to the outside. So it'll be negative 3 over 2 times x. And then we just have to find where does a line go through the y-axis. Well, right here at 0, 5 plus 5. That's it. Oops. That's it. It's really that simple when you are dealing with a graph. Now, let's say you forgot that in the moment and you just want to do it the other way, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to find the slope like we did in 13.2. So y2 minus y1 is 2 minus 5, so that's 2 minus 5. And then x2 minus x1 is 2 minus 0. So that equals negative 3 over 2. Oh my goodness, that's what we had over there before. So y equals negative 3 halves x, and it still goes through 5, so plus 5. Well, what happens if we have two, or a table? Now, a table and two sets of points, they're the same thing. There's no difference. Now, there's two ways we can solve it this way as well. You can either do y2 minus y1 over x2 over x1, or you can just find the common ratio between 2 points as you go down. Doesn't really matter which way you do it. I'm going to keep this way just so everything's been consistent. So let's choose 2 points. Let's choose this one and that one. Why? Because I just don't want to do the ones next to each other. I just want you to see it doesn't matter which 2 points you pick. So y2 minus y1, so that's going to be 12 minus 2 over 9 minus 3. Okay, so 12 minus 2 is 10. 9 minus 3 is 6. Oh no, it's not going to simplify to an integer. So what? Simplify it down as far as you can go. 10 over 6 simplifies down to 5/3. Okay, so our slope is 5/3. So y equals 5/3, helps if I write a third. So y equals 5/3 x. Now we need to find our y-intercept. Now there's two ways to do this. Fortunately, because of how the questions have been written in this one, and because we're not in school and we don't have all the time to do all of that part, fortunately, all the ones that they give you will automatically give you the y-intercept. There's a way, if there's not the y-intercept, to figure it out. We're not going to do those in this situation. You'll cover that when you get to Algebra 1. We actually would have done it if we did 13.7, but that's really not the most important concept to do. So if you look here, you have 0, negative 3. So the y-intercept is where x is 0. So you just look for your 0 point. So 0 minus 3. So it goes through negative 3. Okay, so y equals 5x, sorry, y equals 5/3 x minus 3. So let's look at the next one. Okay, well, we got a graph. Okay, when we got a graph, life is easy. We first look and find the slope. So we're going to go from here to there. So what is our rise? So we go up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. So that is 2 over 1, which simplifies down to 2. So my slope is 2, so y equals 2x. It goes through the y-axis at 2, so y equals 2x plus 2. So nice when it's like that, isn't it? All right, so let's look at one now that is a horizontal line. So let's do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, because the rise and run is going to seem weird because you're not going up or down anywhere. So if we use the rise over run, actually let's use that first. So the rise is 0, and the run is, yeah, I know. We'll just choose 2 points. Well, the run here happens to be -3. Okay, so that would be a run or a slope of 0. So let's come here. So this would be -4 minus -4 over 0 minus -3. I don't know what that looked like. That was a little scary. So that becomes 0 over 3, which again still is 0. So the equation is going to be y equals 0x. And it goes through the y-axis is -4 minus 4. Now, we talked about this last time. There's no reason to put a 0x here. So that's why when we're writing a horizontal line equation, we get rid of that because 0 times x is just 0. So 0 minus 4 is -4. So y equals -4. Same thing here if you look at this. That's going to be, we'll just pick this point and this point. So 5 minus 5 over 0 minus -4. So that's 0 over 4, which is just a slope of 0. Okay. So now that's going to be y equals, again, 0x plus 5, because I find my y-intercept right here, 0, 5. So we get rid of that, and that's just y equals 5. Very nice. Okay, so now let's put this into practice. So engineers are digging a 3,500-foot long tunnel at a constant rate. After 5 months, the engineers will still need to dig 1,500 feet to finish the project. How much time does it take to complete the tunnel from start to finish? So engineers use boring machines like this. Yeah, they're massive. Okay, it's 21 feet wide. 1 point. To do, is this the Metro Gold Line? So that's just a subway system in LA. Wow, tunnel 1.7 miles long. It's pretty long. Okay, so how do we figure this out? Well, we need to get 2 points. Okay, so the 1 point we have is after 4 months, the engineers need to dig 1,500 feet to finish the project. So that means if they started at, the starting point is 3,500 feet from the end of the tunnel, or 0, 3,500. And then each day they're digging away, they're digging away, they're digging away, and then, they magically get to 1,500 feet away. Well, after 4 months, they are 1,500 feet from the end. Okay, so our starting point is 0, 3,500. Our ending point is 4, 1,500. So now we're just going to use these 2 points to create our equation. So again, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Okay, so that's 1,500 minus 3,500 over x2 minus x1, or 4 minus 0. So 1,500 minus 3,500 is negative 2,000 over 4. So that equals negative 500. So now we're going to create ourselves a little equation here. So y equals, where's my slope? Negative 500. We'll just call it x. Okay. Plus, what's our original point? 0, 3,500. Not really fitting too well, but you guys can do that. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it over onto the next slide just so we can see it. So y equals negative 500 500x plus 3,500. So it said, how long is it going to take for us to finish it? So basically, the graph would look like this. This is the start, right? This would be like months down here, and this would be distance. Okay? So at 0 months, we have a certain distance. And we're trying to find out how many months will we go until we get there to the end. Okay? So we need to know the number of months, which would be x. So where is it where y happens to be 0? So 0 equals negative 500x plus 3,500. Well, now we're just going to solve this like we would solve for any variable like you did earlier in the year. So I'm multiplying it by a number, then I'm adding a number to it. So we need to take it apart backwards. So we subtract 3,500 from both sides. So we get negative 3,500 equals negative 500x. Go through, divide both sides by negative 500. X equals 7. So it'll take 7 months to dig the tunnel for it. Okay, so good luck today. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Bye.